Good morning, crafters. Yes, sorry for the absence. I'm back, I think. I'm back today, and I'm going to have a go at another pick 10. Not really feeling terribly creative, so I'm hoping that some of these sticks will get my creative juices flowing. So yeah, let's begin. Number 1. Add paint using a store card. Right, I'm just going back then with some paint. 1 second. Okay. Right, I'm back with some bright colours. I thought, start the day as you mean to go on. I'll have a bit of bright paint. Not putting too much out because I'm hoping a little will go a long way. Can't believe it's the 1st of July today. Where's that time gone? Right, I've just put, I don't know, I didn't really, couldn't see, but I have literally just put some blobs of paint on the side of me. I think I prefer that side. One side's slightly more textures. So don't really know where we're heading with this. Just clean that. And I'll put a little bit more yellow in, I think, because it's getting a bit lost on there. Crikey, that's bright. Right, I think we'll leave it at that for now. And I'll just clean that little bit of paint up before I stick my arm in it, because that won't be great. Dearie me, I think I'm just spreading. Let's have another. I seem to be just spreading the mess around. That's better. There we go. I'm going to save that red one because I shall use that. Oh, pretty. That can be used for something. Let me just, I've got paint all up my hand already. Where did that come from? Okay. Right, let's pick another. Add lace. Right, well, lace can go on nearish the end, I think. Lace. Okay, well, I'm choosing to do that later. Use magicals. Oh, I can already sense the direction this is going. I think I'm going to have to dry this first before I attempt anything else, so bear with me. Right, that's all dry. I think I'm going to put some water down first in some of the white areas, or the less. I know I can spray it as well. And I might do that. Oops, there's a bit too much water there. Alright, let's see where we're going with that. My magicals are weird colours, so I've got a yellowy one, blingy blonde. The others are kind of green, blue, purple, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. So I think what I will do, oops, I've got a bit of curling going on, is try with the yellowy one and then, oops, see where we go with that. Looks like I'm going to have to spray it anyway. I'm not sure, I've got a lot of water in there, let's see. Oh, here we go. Might just move those around and use it to colour the white on the background there. Hopefully that will leave a kind of shimmer. Right, where's that? Let's use this. Right, I'm in a bit of a mess here. Trying to put the lid back. Oh, I can't do that with one hand. Let's hope I don't knock it over. I don't want to waste all this lovely pigment, so I'm going to try and mop it up with this wipe that I was going to use for something else. Right, that can go back there and dry, and then let's try and give myself a bit of a cleaner area to come back to. Oh my goodness, I think, you wouldn't believe I washed this mat yesterday. Let's try that. Okay, I think I'm going to have to dry that because, oh my goodness, I'm completely stained. Oh well, never mind. Okay, right, let me just dry this. Right, we're back, we're dry. I don't know if you can see the shimmery sparkle on that, but it's nice. It's not too in your face, quite understated. I think I might turn that round. So let's pick another stick. Oops. Right, add tissue or napkin to cover something. Well, I haven't got anything to cover at the moment, so I could put some tissue or napkin. I'm just looking. I've got this piece of napkin on my desk. But I don't know if that's what I want. I think, yes, I think I might make a focal thing out, a focal image out of the out of something on napkin. I can cover something and put that on there. I will be back. Well, I'm not going to lie, that was easy. I've got a whole stack of napkins, and the very top one had got this, and I looked at that and thought, oh yes, those birds look lovely, parrot looks nice, even the toucan maybe. So I think what I'll do is, and I'm not great with napkins, so you're probably all going to shout at me and say, no, you're doing it wrong. I think I'm going to stick it onto a piece of card and then cut them out and put those on the onto the page. Now the big thing is, what do we stick it down with? I'm going to try stick glue. See how we go with that. So how's everybody doing? I'm sorry I haven't caught up with videos. I took a break. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it last week. I think my daughter's decided that, my eldest has decided to go back to London tomorrow, and I think obviously I'm anxious about that. You know, I know she can't stay here forever. I know that, but I have absolutely loved having her here, and I don't want her to go back. But I do realise that she has a life to resume. So, and in fairness, I went off to uni and I left home. I did go back and see Mum and Dad. Don't get me wrong, and we were really very close, but I wouldn't have wanted to go back and live at home. Once you've found yourself, or you're in the process of steady of finding yourself, you don't want to go be stifled living at home with your parents. But I have loved having her here, so I think I'm a bit worried about that. And my youngest daughter, bless her, she's done brilliantly, because she has a boyfriend and she hasn't seen him for 3 months or whatever, however long we've been in lockdown. So but that's taken its toll on her mental health. So she's decided that she's going to see him now, but that means she's going to socially distance from Ian and I for this foreseeable future. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, I just feel a bit deflated at the moment. I'm sure I'll be back on track soon, but I just thought if I did something today, and thank you everybody who was worried about me, I just decided I spent a lot of time with my eldest. We've been playing games and doing things in the evening, and so my time was sort of limited. I just didn't feel like watching craft videos or even thinking about doing anything crafty, but I think I'm on my way back. So right, do I need to let that dry? Maybe I'll zap it with a heat tool. What do you reckon? I bet you're all saying, oh, you're doing it wrong. Right, we're back in a minute. Right, so I did dry it, and I've fussy cut it because I saved you from the pain of watching me fussy cut that. But I love it. The more I was cutting it out, the more I fell in love with it. What beautiful image. And I don't suppose you can hear, but I can hear my budgie in the background is singing away as well all the while. So I think what I might do with this is, just because it gets a little bit lost on there, I think I'm going to go around it with some black soot, just to get rid of the white edges, and also to give it a bit of a an edge to make it stand out as best I can. I mean, there's some bits I'm not going to be able to get into very well, but we can only do what we can do. So yeah, I didn't have a great week last week. Hope everybody had a better one, and I am gradually getting around to your videos. It's so hard if you take a couple of days off of YouTube and Instagram, that the posts and things just, I know, they just mount up, and then it's hard. I know you don't have to watch everything, but I like to. And if I watch of people's video, I watch them. I don't just skim through and write a comment at the end. I think if I'm going to watch someone's video, I'll watch it, and but that takes time. Anyway, I probably will have more time in the next few weeks. And yes, I was going to say happy wedding anniversary to Lorna. Lorna Callahan, I think, has been married 20 years today. So congratulations to you guys. And I hope you have a lovely day, whatever you're doing. I think that's another thing as well that sort of suddenly dawned on me, because it's our wedding anniversary in a month, and we'll have been married 25 years, and we'd got things planned that obviously are not going to be going ahead. And I don't know, I think maybe it just all caught up with me. Who knows? Anyway, let's stop dwelling on that. Now, they look a bit better, don't they, like that? I'm not going to stick them on yet because, I don't know, I think it might need something behind them, or I'm not sure, but I'm going to keep that there. I'll keep it to one side, and I have used the tissue or napkin to cover something. I just haven't put it on yet. Neither have I put the lace on. I'm not sure where that's going. Alright, let's pick another. Add hearts. That shouldn't be too difficult to do, but what colour hearts shall we put on, and what type of heart? Maybe I could draw some hearts. Or maybe we could be clever, she says. Maybe I could put a heart behind them so that they stand out a bit better. What do we reckon? We could have heart-shaped leaves. That might work. If I could find a little heart stamp, maybe I could make sort of little heart-shaped leaves coming off of here. Then I'd have to stick that down though, wouldn't I? Decisions. I'm moving add hearts to the add later pile. Use a sponge. See, I would have been annoyed there. Let's take that off. We will use a sponge on here, but what colour? Oh dear. I don't want to make it too busy. It's already quite busy. Maybe we could use some white or something and tone it down a bit. Or some green. Yes. Right, let me get a sponge. Okie dokie. Welcome back, the biggest cheater. I found a sponge, but I've also found a heart-shaped sponge. So I'm hoping to do two things in one here, although I don't know how well this will go. Ooh, it's making a strange bubbly thing with the paint. I don't know how that will go. Right, I'm adding hearts, and I'm using a sponge. I'm trying to give myself a place to put the birds so that they have a bit of a background, a bit of a green background. Oh, I've got two greens out. I haven't even moved from my seat because I obviously forgot to put those ones away last time. Right, let's see. I literally have no idea how this is going. Try not to make it too dark. Let's have a little bit. This is a bit of a tealy green, so I'm going to add it into the other one and hopefully give us a bit of... Oh, that's quite good because it hasn't covered the sponge completely. Hopefully it look a little bit like a tree or a bit of a leaf or foliage. Let's grab our little birdies. Yeah, I don't need to go too mad. Maybe a little bit up there and there. And down there. I think that will do us. Right, let me have a clean up and I'll be back. Right, I am back. I couldn't waste the paint or the on the sponge or on the side, so I've had a little play, and I shall use that for something else at some point. So that is drying, so I can add the hearts. I've done that, and I've used a sponge. I know it was a bit cheaty, but I don't care. This is not supposed to be a form of punishment. It's supposed to be helping with creativity. Add buttons. Right, buttons can go on with lace. This is going to be weird, is it not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 more. I have got some buttons actually that might go with this. I made some buttons, Betsy Doodle style. Let's some of those. I thought I had some painty ones as well. What have I done with those? I know I've got some painty ones. I might have to find those, but they could perhaps do. They're a bit... I'm going to leave some of those out. Let me just look in the next drawer down. Yes, here they are. Alright, these might be a bit better, look. Oh, there's even some red ones as well, but they've got blue on. I'm not really keen on that. Don't want to introduce some blue. But there's some green ones. They're looking... I think I prefer those ones to those. So why all my buttons are not in the same place, I do not know. Anyway, so we've got some buttons to go on, perhaps with some lace. Let's get another stick. Add a border. I'm tempted to use lace as a border, but I don't think I want that much because I'm not mega keen. What could we do for a border? I might have a look and see if I've got any of my bright borders that could go around the outside. Let's have a look for those. Right, I deemed my my borders to be too jazzy for this, so I think I'm just going to draw around the outside, and I'm just going to keep it simple. So I shall just, oops, hopefully this pen will work, and I should probably go around it twice. I'm just going to add a few scribbles along the way. I'm not going to think about it too much, and you can tell that I'm not. Right, let's go around again, I think, just so that we've got some loopy loops. There, I think that will do as a scribbly border. I'm tempted to colour in those loopy black bits, and I might just do that. Just because it gives it a bit more of a something to focus on rather than I could have used a Sharpie, but I'm not going to worry too much. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm quite liking that. It looks a bit more deliberate now. There we go. Can't tell what I've done there, so I will make it up. Add a bit there, I think. Right. That will do for add a border. How are we doing? 3, 6, 8. 2 more. Add random numbers. Here we go again. Some of these sticks seem to come up all the time for me. I don't really know why. Okay. So that was that 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll come back to that one, and I'm just going to pick the last one so I know where I'm headed. Use sprays. Right, those are going to be two together then, I think. I'm guessing the sprays, a stencil and random numbers. It definitely says numbers this time, not words or whatever it was I thought. And ploughed on ahead. Right, let me get my stencil and some spray, and I'll be back. Right, I have my stencil and I have some of these acrylic sprays, and I have no idea what will happen with this, so let's see. Hopefully not too much. Oh, lovely mess there. That's not going well. Can't even see that those are numbers. Why is that? Is it because the stencil is not flat on there? Maybe the colour is not great either. I'm going to go for the red and see what happens. If it works. No, red does not appear to want to work. Okay, we're not spraying with red. Could have another go with yellow. Let's have one more try. See if we can get something that looks like a number. I think I need to flatten that and just get dirty. I think the sprays are a bit wet. Yes, I mean, what a mess is that? Let's get rid of that. All right. I'm going to just spray some random stuff on there. I have used a spray. Now I'm going to clean up my mess and come back and see what I can do about the number situation. Okie doke, we're back. We've got a stencil again. I am deciding to use Distress Oxide now on top of this. I don't know if it will work, but I didn't want to add another. I thought about adding white, but I think I've got black on the border, so I'm just going to have a go at. I don't really want to add too much. There's some random numbers. And I think that will do there. And one more place. Maybe down the bottom here. What do we reckon? There, that will do on the random number front. Just clean off this while I think about it. Okay, that will do for now. Okay, so what have we done? I think we've done virtually everything. She says, trying to ignore the fact I've got to add lace. Store card, magical sponge, hearts, tissue, border, random numbers, sprays. Bit of a fail, but I did use one. Buttons and lace. Right, let's look at the lace. I don't know what to use. Let me turn the camera off while I have a rummage around. I've pulled out a tiny piece of lace only because I don't really want to use it. I don't want to use it up, and I don't really want it on there. It has got a kind of a yellowy sheen to it, but I still think it looks a bit bizarre on there. So I'm going to have a go at dyeing it, and for that I'm going to wet it first of all. So that's nice and wet. I'm going to get absolutely filthy. I know I could put some gloves on, but since my fingers are already yellow, I think we'll just not worry too much about it. Right, and I'm going to put some, I think that's Lucky Clover, just Distress ink, and smush it up a bit. slightly more in keeping with the page, and I will just dry that with my heat tool. Obviously we don't want it wet, and you don't want to hear me with the tool. Back in a sec. The lace is slightly green now, more green anyway, and I think that looks better. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking it'll go on somewhere. It could go up there around the parrot's head with a couple of buttons on it, maybe up there. Or it could go down the side, and I think actually I might end up with it up there. Either way, I'm going to just put some thread in the buttons, and the only colour I have access to is this yellow at the moment, because my daughter has borrowed all the embroidery threads. I think she's making friendship bracelets. So I'm just going to put a little bit of thread through there so it looks like it's sewn on, and I'll probably just tie it up at the back here, she says. Oh, I would never have made a surgeon, would I? Right, that will do for that one. I think I'm only going to use 2 buttons. There's one. I know I could have put the thread coming through the top. Sometimes I do that and have them tied at the top, but I don't fancy that today. I fancy something a bit different. There we go. So I'll just add, those. I can glue all this on, I think, once we've made the decision as to where it all goes. Slightly worried that my parrots, they seem a little bit lost on there. What does it look like through the camera? Oh, actually not too bad. Not as bad as it does from the angle I'm at anyway. Right, shall I put that at the top, or shall I pop it down the side here and then put my birdies on there? Decisions, decisions. I think I'm going to put it down the side there. So let's stick a bit of 3-in-1 down there, and that will do for that, I think. Should hold that down nicely. And I think then I'll stick the birds on. Let's have a go at them with a bit of 3-in-1 as well. It's going to need something fairly heavy duty to hold them down. It's quite a thick piece of card that I'll put it on as well. There we go. Whoops. On there, up there. Right, my beauties. Where are you going to go? Like that, I think. Stick them down, and I'm going to push them down from behind and hope that they will stick on nicely. Might have to weight it down. In fact, I probably would. That would be the most sensible thing to do, wouldn't it? I might well do that, especially as we've got a bit of a curl in the page. They're not doing too badly. Because I think I might like to go round them with some black. I think what I'll do is lay them down, maybe even put a piece of that underneath, and then find something heavy, and I'll be back when that's all dried. Right, I've weighted this down while I went and had my breakfast, and it seems to be, I'd say it seems to be stuck. There's a bit of juicy glue left there, but I'm going to work with it. So I'm just going to go around here with my, I don't know what this is, a Stabilo awl, I think it's called, and I'll just go around it and then drop a little bit of water on it, and then it will hopefully make the parrots stand out a little bit more. Because they're so beautiful, I don't want them to be just disappearing into that busy background. I know I've got to put my buttons on as well. I have them to hand. There we go. Bit of a grim old day today, this morning. It's even been, I don't know how that will work there, even been drizzling with rain, and yet last week it was 30 degrees. How ridiculous. No wonder the British nation is obsessed with the weather. It changes so bizarrely and so quickly. No 2 days are alike. No idea how this is going to work on the lace. It's probably going to be horrendous, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Probably better if I turned it round. There we are. I can't remember where I started. Where did I start? It's a parrot's tail. Have I done that? Yep. Right, hopefully I have a water brush here. Oh, I would say has it got water in it, but I squeezed it and it all came out, so yes, it does have water. I'm not sure it's coming out at the end. Maybe it is. Yes, it is. So I think I will just make my birdies stand out a little bit better with this. I do like parrots. When I was, I don't know, a teenager, I would say, my mum and dad had got, well, they've still got the same friends. It's not like they've disappeared or anything, but they had friends. And in fact, my mum used to childmind for this lady she used to work with my dad, and she had 3 boys, and my mum had them as babies and until they went off to school. And they, as a family, had parrots. They'd got 4 parrots. They'd got one that looked like this, a red macaw that was called Sydney, and they'd got like a blue and yellow macaw called Wellington, and they had a African grey called Horace, and he used to recite Shakespeare and things like that. He was very funny. And I'm trying to think, there was a green one. I don't know what type of parrot that was, and she was called Penelope. But they were really fascinating when I was young. I used to love watching them. But one year when they went on a holiday, my mum and dad looked after the parrots and had to go and feed them. And my mum, I don't know what she did, but the red macaw, Sydney, bit her finger and it wouldn't let go at all. And my mum would have got this, obviously it was excruciatingly painful, but she'd got this parrot. I don't know how they got the parrot off in the end, but they did, and my mum had to go to A&E. But I remember she said that nobody knew what to do, how to treat the parrot bite, and what. I mean, this was it could have been the 70s, could have been 80s, but they didn't know how to treat her. What, you know, I guess, I don't know, for tetanus, or if they thought they were going to, something was going to, she was going to get any disease or something from the bite. Ah, well, she's still with us, so it can't have been all bad. Right, I think that there was some glue there. Whether or not this black is going to cover that, I don't know. Better than nothing. So, there we go. Right. Let's see what happens on the lace. I don't really know. Just drop a bit more colour onto it from the brush, from the pencil itself. There. I'm not going to worry too much. I think these pens are supposed to work on fabric anyway. But did I even do that bit down there? Take that opportunity to fill in his tail, because there was a little bit of white there that was annoying me. I'm not the greatest at fussy cutting. I don't really enjoy it either. I'm sure some people love sitting and cutting things. I'm not massively keen on that. I'm glad I used this napkin. I love these birds. And I've got 3 squares of it left, so I might have to think of another project to use them up. There we go. I've no idea what this looks like through the screen. It's hard to see sometimes at the angle that I'm working at as well. I'm hoping it's an improvement on how it was before. Where's my water? That's miles away. There's definitely water in this brush, but it doesn't seem to be flowing out too well. And now it'll probably just gush out everywhere. Whoops, look what you're doing. That tail there I nearly chopped off when I was fussy cutting it out. Right, now the water is flowing. I feel like it's flowing too fast. Just try and pop a bit more down there. Yeah, not hating that. And I think the only thing left to do is pop some buttons on, so I think I might just stick one over here and maybe one down there as token buttons. Not toucan buttons, but token. Oh, I could stick one just like, no. I think I'm going to stick them there. And then that will be my, there's one more thing I will do, but I might do that after this has dried. Oh, actually, if I had thought about it, I could do it before, couldn't I? I just want to go around the edge with some black soot. And I need some more. Where is it? Not there. Nor there. Here. Sometimes you can ink up one of these blending pad things and it can stay. Right, I might do it in the morning and I might use it all day to go around the edges of things, and then other times it just dries out, or and I haven't used a lot of this today. That's a bit better. Right, where's my gluey button? Put a little bit more glue on that. And we'll stick that one up there. I might have to weight those down, I think, otherwise they're going to pop off. But I will show you a picture at the end. I don't think I'll be adding anything else. I think this is it. Like that will do, I think. And I will just weight those things down and dry it, and I can, depending on how it looks there, I might post another picture. There we go. That's all my prompts. I think I've used all those things, and yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Looking good. Thanks folks, see you again soon. Bye for now.